my little sewing studio. I'm here sewing on my Pfaff Icon today, and I want to show you how to do buttonholes on the icon. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Start Sewing, and then I'm going to go to my buttonholes, which happen to be under Utilities, menu 3, 3. And I am going to select button number 1. Buttonhole number 1. I've plugged my buttonhole into the back to the port, and then I'm just going to release my IDT if you still have it down, and then I'm going to snap on my buttonhole foot. Maybe. There we go. Okay. And then I need to edit the size of my buttonhole. So my buttons I'm using today are about, we're going to say 18, and I'm going to make it 19 just for good luck. Okay, I'm going to make it 20 just for good luck. So I'm going to get my piece of fabric, which I'm going to use for something later today and show you why I'm putting buttonholes on this. And I'm going to take and align the little red arrow in the little indentation right there in the foot. Then I'm going to place my fabric, and you notice I have my embellished tearaway stabilizer under that. And keep in mind that your buttonhole is going to go backwards first, so we get that beautiful, perfectly balanced buttonhole. So, okay, here we go. So it went backwards first, just keep that in mind. Keep sewing, it'll stop automatic, and then go ahead and touch your scissors. Okay, so there's the buttonhole ready to go. And if you're going to have a buttonhole, of course you need to put a button on. So next thing, I'm going to quickly show you how to sew on a button. So I'm going to go over here through my button menu, and I'm going to select number 19. 19 is the sew on the button. I'm going to take off that foot, and you're going to notice we don't need a foot when we put the button on, or that's the way I do it anyway. Some people don't do it that way. But I'm going to get my little thing up here that I want to sew my button on, and I'm going to get out my magic tape, which is the kind of tape that you can use on gift packaging, that if you pull it off, it won't rip the paper if you get it at the wrong place. And the reason I like that one is because it will not gum up the needle. So I'm going to go ahead and tape it down, my button down where I want it. And this guy has 2 little holes. So on a button, the distance in between the 2 holes is supposed to be an industry standard, which is the same. And of course you know that that's not always right. So I am going to hand turn the needle down into the first hole. Then I'm going to put my presser foot down, and I always want to hand wind my very first one to make sure everything's at the right place and it's not going to hit my button. Okay, this looks good. If it was too big or too small, I will go ahead and use my width to adjust the size of the zigzag. The other thing I want to point out is right here, you see the number 8. That means the needle's going to go back and forth 8 times. If you want to repeat or do it again, you can. So just start sewing. And when it's sewed that 8, it will finish and tie off. And I just decided I want to do 8 more because sometimes I'm rough on buttons. and trim your thread. Okay, there you have it. Got my button on. I have my buttonhole, and I'm going to trim that out, and I'm going to show you what this project is in another video.